Here's a big shocker for you, Mike.
What's that?
Alabama center Seth McLaughlin has entered the transfer portal.
Good luck. I mean, you're kind of like a kicker. You got one job. Snap the ball. You can't do it. You know why they were in 4th and 31 at Auburn? That dude.
Yeah.
This dude's been killing worms with his snaps all year. So, yeah, I highly doubted he was going to be welcomed back to the Alabama program after really the low snap on the last play killed it because you know what the play was supposed to be? RPO, and they had 2 blockers and the running back in motion, meaning 3v2. But Milroe couldn't get his head left because he was busy being Phil Rizzuto playing shortstop. So then he's like, well, F it, gotta go. So, yeah, they ain't playing down there.
Is he going Power 5 or Group of 5?
G5.
Yeah.
And by the way, Tommy Reese may want to update your resume. And if you're a Michigan fan, take pleasure in this stuff. You do what you got to do. Just because I'm not on board with the nonsense I heard from JJ today doesn't mean I don't understand your fun level. Oh, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, ESPN will gladly deliver it to you. Basically, JJ's admitting to knowing they were stealing signs. Also, I would have loved a follow-up to JJ. By the way, any thought you're the recruit Jim illegally met with during COVID? Because you might have decommitted and they wanted to bring you back into the fold? Is your middle name Cheeseburger? We ain't going to get those kind of questions at one of these happy hee-haw press conferences. JJ, I thought you didn't know anything that was going on. I thought no players knew.
Right.
I thought no coaches knew.
How did you know what was going on in 2019 when you weren't on the team yet?
Weird. Crazy. But again, here's
and
what'll
you didn't
happen.
play in 2020.
Here's what'll happen. Wolverine Media will clean that up. You know, JJ meant to say they were doing everything by the book to steal. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
This is why I've said to you guys, we'll talk football, because if you want to open the other can of worms, it's going to go a different way. Now go win your natty. Enjoy yourself. I don't know if I would take the tag off the championship hat, but just go. And get to Houston and go enjoy it, for Christ's sakes. But bottom line, don't expect any of us to sit here and be like, oh, that's charming. What do you mean? We were told no players knew.
Wait, we just wanted to level the playing field because Ohio State was stealing our signs. But
2
it was
years
legal.
before I got here.
It was legal, but...
Right, so who clued you into that, JJ? Did the coaches clue you in, or was that some good literature? Was there a popular blog you decided to read?
I'm sure he learned from Chase Winovich, who had a special guest with him at the Rose Bowl.
Right, Connor Stallions at the game. Hey, listen, in a sick, twisted way, I actually almost respect the heel turn. It's like Kenny's wrestling. I'm sure he has like a good example. He gave me Hulk Hogan, WCW, or whatever it was, or when Ric Flair went somewhere else. You almost have to respect it. They just, but what
Hulk
I like,
Hogan dyeing the beard black.
right? But what I like about this, and I've said this to David, go win your natty, because you had to whore yourself out to do it. You had to go against everything you railed upon. You became everything you hated to get it done. Well, the SEC's filth. So are you. Well, our coach does it right. No, he doesn't. Well, our kids are dirty as hell.
We're leaders and best.
No, you're not.
Not anymore.
So you can have the title. Respect. Your football team you never needed to cheat. Biggest compliment I could pay you. You didn't need to do it. You were Barry Bonds. And then Barry started using the needle. The whole point I make to you is you corrupted yourselves. So your identity is attached to lies. See, the difference is Georgia's a scumbag program. And they admit it. I don't have any qualms with Georgia because they don't pretend to be something they're not. You know what you are? You're one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You ain't rich. You just pretend. You pretend for the camera. And your house is under foreclosure. I don't have to respect that. But enjoy it.
You're just an Instagram couple?
Right. They're doing it for the gram. My whole thing, because they're the only program in America, their identity's attached to a myth. If they would let go of it, none of us would care. So good. You became everything you hated in order to get where you needed to go. But don't be doing that at that press conference today.
Y'all shucks.
You don't do that. Don't do that. That's crazy. Now, if you want the JJ stuff, you can go to ESPN and watch it. I would like to just stick to football and move forward. David, do you have any retort for what I've just said?
None whatsoever.
You can rip my ass.
None whatsoever.
Did I
was just gonna
step out of line?
No, I was just going to say, they're acting like, I wasn't on 8 Mile. I was just on 7 Mile walking that's still the same thing. You're doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
You're cheating.
Right.
And it's okay to just not
Just
see. You know what JJ
admit
just
it.
said? Ask Coach Harbaugh. I'm focused
Correct.
on winning a national title.
Well,
Best thing JJ could have said.
And that's the thing.
But they can't help themselves.
Take the book, take the lesson from Jim Harbaugh and just say, look, we're focused, we're tunnel vision. Right. Do that.
That's
what are
right.
you doing?
That's 100% right.
I wasn't on 8 Mile. I was on State Fair.
Right, but don't do an oral history of sign stealing in the years that preceded your very arrival. What?
Because you told us we didn't know anything about this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We did. Except we did it all in the right ways. Okay, then. Moving along, Lions, Dan Gamble, all in, all out. Let's go to Mike, 97.1. Mikey, how are you, brother?
Oh, man. Good. Oh, man, you had to bring up Michigan before I got on the air.
No, Mike, I'm sorry. Mike, that wasn't – I apologize.
No, we actually brought up the Alabama center, and it just morphed into
Rico
Michigan.
baited me, and I'm not going to do a negative Michigan topic today. I didn't want people to think we weren't aware of the JJ comments, so I apologize.
To be fair, you've given Michigan their flowers, and you have picked them all the way. So I can't say that you're a hater. I know you don't like them, but you still have been accurate about them.
I tried.
How's that?
That's fair. And I didn't mean to warm you up there. Now, what do you got on Dan Gamble?
All right. Here's the thing. See, so it works for some coaches. Staley, it got him fired. Can we agree? So
yes.
What got us here is that. But I think in the playoffs he might rein it in a bit, Mike. I really do. I think he knows in the playoffs you have to rein it in a bit. I mean, one thing here once in a while, but in the playoffs everything tightens up. And he's an NFL coach. He should know this. Everything is magnified in the playoffs. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
And I don't think he's that, but he doesn't know that. Every possession becomes valuable. Everything you do becomes magnified. So I would say I buy in, but I also think he might change it up for the playoffs. Do you think that's a stupid comment?
No, I don't think it's stupid. Mike, I wouldn't be able to call it stupid. I think it's hopeful. I'm hoping he dials it back a little, but I don't know that that's what he's going to do.
No, I think when push comes to shove, Mike, this is what he is. And he showed you in that game that he always feels like by going for it, it gives him the competitive advantage. And as a head coach, he's going to always try to go for that advantage.
What did you? I thought it was interesting hearing him and Costa yesterday. He was going after Costa pretty good, saying just say what you want to say and stuff. I respect that.
Me too.
You never get a coach that actually just wants a real talk. I respect this guy because he's everything that most coaches aren't. So basically, here's Michigan and the Lions game were exactly the endings were exactly almost the same, except Harbaugh went for the extra point and Campbell didn't, and the scores were identical. Like you said, Mike, these two games, they couldn't have been any more. They were crazy.
They were fabulous.
But see, the thing is, Mike, kind of like the Michigan game, you had the better offense. So Michigan should have gone to overtime because you had Blake Corum, because that offense is built for the college overtime.
And I don't think what Harbaugh did 4th and 2 at the 32 was analytics. That was Jim Harbaugh saying, I don't think we're getting the ball back.
Yeah.
We have 3 timeouts, but there's only 3:20 to go.
If we punt, I don't know if we get a 3 and out.
And you know what? We have been able, when we've wanted to confuse Alabama with the pre-snap candy, and their communication is not solid. It's something we talked about in the preview of the game. That's not analytics. That's going, I'm not getting the ball back. Yeah. We're just going.
Yeah.
So I had no issue with it because David, when Harbaugh went for it, were you like, no, punt the ball?
No, not at all.
No. You didn't feel like they were getting the ball back.
If it were 5 or 6 minutes left in the game, I would have said punt the ball. But the way Alabama was driving and just eating clock, yeah. And it was 4th and 2.
Yeah, before the play was over, I told my son, I said, yeah, they're going for this.
Well, here's the thing.
They know what they're doing here. They're going to go for this.
And you have Blake Corum who falls forward and picks up 4 yards. So even if you just handed the ball off to him, you would have got the first down because that's just what he does.
Now, again, when we talk the Dan Campbell stuff, remember, there are times I think it's good to be aggressive, but that's not the question at hand. What I am asking is, are you all in? that there's not going to be criticism. Like if you didn't criticize him going for 2 from the 7, then I don't think you have a right to criticize anything because that was insane. Seriously. It was a negative 15% win differential decision. That's unspeakable. People in analytics, you would lose your job doing that. So if you back him during that, what I'm saying is you have to back everything he does. That's why I'm all out, meaning I still have the right to say, no, I wouldn't run a game that way. Oh, well, who the F for you? I'm a football fan. I'm somebody who, this is my whole life. This is what I do. And yes, math plays a role. Yes, I like some analytics. But I think when you trust a computer to run your game, that doesn't factor in they're men, not machines. It doesn't factor in injuries. It doesn't factor in matchups. It doesn't factor in weather. It doesn't factor in where the game is. I think that's a fool's errand. And there are plenty of people in football who agree with me, just like there are plenty who would agree with Dan Campbell. We are watching the evolution of the sport, and you're watching the evolution of your team. And I think it's a fun conversation. We all love him as coach, but I don't have to love everything about it. And I think these decisions, a lot of them are reckless. And I don't think you need to be ashamed to have that opinion in this town. It doesn't mean you're anti-Lions. I was saying you were winning the division in a playoff game before any of you yahoos got on board. It was just me, Kenny, and a cummerbund. It was very exciting times.
Have you guys ran into tuxes yet?
No. I'm not forcing Kenny into a tuxedo. It's just my job to get him to the game.
I'll do it, no problem.
I thought you two were wearing tuxedos.
I never said me. I said him.
Oh, no, my friend.
No.
You said
tuxedos, limousine, doves flying out from behind us.
We got to go back and find.
You best go back and find. You know what? It's like the commercials. Let's go to the replay.
Oh,
the
okay.
Thing. The drop the red flag.
Because I remember saying, wait, Mike, you're actually going to go to a Lions game? Absolutely.
I would go. I didn't say I was going to be dressed like that, idiot. And I mean that with love. All right, get ahead of the game.
You'll be dressed up like Prince.
Moran, no.